this video, I'm going to show you guys how to make some Pokemon charms. I will show you how to make this Squirtle. And this Squirtle was requested by Jasmine Mungia. So if you're watching, girl, I hope you like how he turned out. I will also show you guys how to make this little chibi Pikachu that has no arms. And I'll also show you how to make this little Bulbasaur. And let's go ahead and start. Let's start with Pikachu. Grab a yellow polymer clay ball and start rolling it on one end. It's going to be like a very chubby egg. And don't worry about any lint or fingerprints on your polymer clay. We're going to get rid of that after we bake it. So once we have our chubby egg shape, go ahead and grab a small bead and roll it on one end. This is going to be Pikachu's ears. And then place the ears on top of the head, of course. Press them down. To get the two brown lines on his back, go ahead and roll some brown polymer clay. Then go ahead and cut two small slices and place them on his back and flatten them down with your finger. I'm going to go ahead and cut an angle and then cut another angle. It probably makes it easier if you're looking at Pikachu's tail while you're doing this. Place it down in the middle of his back and flatten it down so it sticks on. To attach this eye pin, I will use some TLS. I placed a little bit on the eye pin and then I will press it in the middle of his head. And now he's ready to be baked. Now it's time to make Squirtle. So start with the light yellow polymer clay bead and we're going to flatten it to create a little oval shape. Then grab a dark brown bead of polymer clay and we're going to flatten it on its sides. Make sure you don't flatten it in the center. We want to make a curved shape. Then go ahead and place the tummy on the top and squish them together a little bit so that they blend. Then roll some white polymer clay and start wrapping it around where the belly meets the shell. Cut off the extra and try your best to blend it a little bit. Then go ahead and press the white polymer clay so it sticks a little bit better. Grab a light blue ball polymer clay and press it on the top of the shell, right in the middle. And go ahead and squeeze it down so it sticks really well. Then go ahead and make a small ball of blue polymer clay and place it right next to his face. These are going to be his tiny arms. Press them down. Then go ahead and grab a slightly bigger bead for his feet and place them down. Let's make his tail by rolling some of the polymer clay. Then carefully start rolling it in. This is going to be like his little spiral tail. Cut off any excess and roll the tip. Center it right in the middle and roll it up. And just kind of press it down so it sticks better. I put some TLS on the eye pin and I'm just going to press it in the middle of his head. And now he's ready to be baked. Now let's go ahead and do Bulbasaur. So grab a light teal ball polymer clay and flatten it. This is going to be his stomach. Then grab a green ball polymer clay and round it on one end. I'm just kind of like rounding it in between my fingers. It almost looks like a Hershey's kiss. Place it on top of his belly and just kind of smush it together. Then go ahead and flatten another teal ball polymer clay. Make it into a little chubby little triangle. Then place it in between his back and his tummy. And press it down. Grab a tiny ball of polymer clay and make your fingers into a little triangle. And these are going to be his ears. Place it on his head and just press it down a little bit. Do the other side. Then make 4 balls of polymer clay and these are going to be his feet. And make sure it's going to cover the bottom. And then go ahead and flatten them together. Place the eye pin right in between his little back. And now he's ready to be baked. Now that they're baked and have cooled down, I put some nail polish remover on this cotton pad and I will wipe the surface of it. This will remove any lint or fingerprints. To draw in the faces, I will use some acrylic paint. Dot his eyes With a small brush, go ahead and make a little nose by making a line. And then draw 2 U's that connect to the little nose. Then go ahead and dot his cheeks. Dot the inside of his eye with the white. And paint the tips of his ears black. Let's start with Squirtle's eyes. I will do one on the side. Make a happy face in between the eyes. Dot the inside of his eye. Let's go ahead and do Bulbasaur's eyes. And go ahead and grab a big dotter or a small one, whatever you'd like. For his mouth, I will do 2 little U's. With an aqua blue color, I will make his little patches, and they're just kind of little random little patches on his feet and on his body. For his eyes, I will make 2 little dots of reflection, a big one and a smaller one next to it. Let the paint completely dry. To glaze my charms, I will use this gloss glaze and the small brush. Brush a thin coat on all your charms. So I ended up doing 2 of each. This was my first try and this is my second try. The first try I ended up doing a flat shell, but it looks a little bit off when it's flat. The rounder one I feel like it looks a little bit cuter. And both of the faces are a little different. So these are my 2 Bulbasaurs and they're basically almost the same thing, except for I painted the faces a little bit different. And this is how both of my little Pikachus turned out, and their faces are almost the same thing except for they're looking different directions. And on the back they're almost the same thing except for the little lines are a little bit bigger than each other. So this is my little collection. If you decide to make some Pokemon charms, I wish you the best. You can do them exactly the way I did them, or you can change some stuff up to make them look a little bit different than mine. But whatever the case is, I wish you the best, and I hope you have an awesome day, and thank you bunches for watching. Bye!